All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to EHC Unfiltered, where we strip away the fluff and talk about what it really takes to perform at a high level, mentally, physically, and professionally. I am your host, Stephen Garrity, founder of Executive Health Coaching, where we help high-performing professionals rebuild their health, reset their systems, and get their edge back. Today, I've got Mike McDonald. You might know him from Butts and Donuts. He is a guy who carved his own lane through resilience, perspective, and relentless growth. We're diving into some turning points that shaped him, the mindset that kept him moving forward, and what he's building next. Mike, welcome to the show, brother. I'm glad to have you on. Absolutely. Yeah, so for those that don't know, Mike and I have a mutual in
Thank
common. I
you.
don't
Thank
even
you.
know what to call it at that point.
Welcome. Thank you
Mike's
for having me, Stephen.
9-year
So excited. I can't wait to dive
relationship,
into this.
because you guys
It's been a
are
long time coming, as we
married
said
now.
before.
You got rings, and you've been together for 9 years. I call you Haley's husband. So, but yeah, we've been I feel like we've been just outside each other's
legally,
circles for
I don't even know what the fuck
nearly a
call it
decade
anymore.
now, it seems. But let's start right at the root. What was the turning point for you? The moment or the season, I guess you could say, that forced you to level up and see things a little differently?
Yeah. It's a good question. I mean, I would say the catalyst or like the climax for my life was definitely my car accident I was in. Just for the viewers listening, watching, I was in a car accident in 2013 on December 13th, Friday, which was a Friday the 13th. Just so everyone knows, my lucky numbers have always been 13 and 31. Those threes and ones, I'm telling you, it couldn't have happened on a better day, believe it or not. I was hit by a drunk driver. I was actually leaving the gym at like 11 a.m.
Gosh,
and I just got hit head on driving my car from a drunk driver, and I broke my left hip. I had 4 broken ribs. I punctured my right lung, and I tore my left forearm and tricep. Yeah, I was I was pretty fucked up, to say the least. Yeah, I didn't walk. That was my Christmas and New Year's for 2013. I was in the hospital from December 13th until January 2nd. And I couldn't walk on my left leg for about 5 months. So they were like, "Hey, you got an option. You can use this wheelchair or you can use a walker." And I'm like, "Well, I'm obviously gonna use a walker. I can't use a wheelchair. That's just like not convenient." And they were like, "You can only put 5 pounds on your left arm because you have a weight bearing of 5 pounds." And I'm like, "Well, then why would you give me a walker? I'm gonna put more than 5 pounds on." And either way, like I still used the walker. I like hopped around everywhere and I did that. But that was like the biggest thing for me because man,
absolutely.
that was like either sit down and like pretty much crumble your life from this point moving on, or you're still young. I was only 23 when it happened. Like, dude, you can fucking get out of this. You can totally get out of this. And I remember having those choices. I remember the doctor being like, here's like your medicine. And I'm not a big Western medicine person, not to say it's not there to help. But I was like, wait, if I take these, it's going to stunt my progress. I'm like, I can't stunt my progress. I have to get as better as I can as fast as possible. And I didn't even take any of the pain pills. I just knew that like, if I can get past this, bro, I can fucking do anything. Like, totally do anything. And good thing, I will say this, my ass literally saved my life. The doctor said, the surgeon, I remember back when I was in the hospital, was like, dude, we cut through so much glute tissue that like you should have crumbled like an accordion. And like, if you see my car, I'll send you pictures. You can post them up there. The car looks like, bro, how did you survive it? The car was just smashed. And I remember thinking like lifting weights, and I used to be legs like 90% of my workouts. Like I was the dude in the gym squatting
that's
and
what I get the
deadlifting
most now, is
because
like
the bench presses were always
because I
taken,
used
and
to hate
bros
my
were always
legs.
just trying to get bigger
You know,
bodies. And I'm like,
I'm
I think people are missing the point here.
I was
You want to
6'4"
work out
before
to
the
look
Marine
good for
Corps, but
girls
that's
when
a
you're
whole
in
nother
college and high
conversation.
school, all that stuff. Like you don't think girls
But
like a guy that has nice
I
ass
used
and
to
legs?
hate my legs because I'm like,
like
2/3
obviously.
legs.
So
and you gotta put some meat on them. But yeah, that's I get the most comments, I think, on my legs.
Yeah, dude. It makes you stand. Like I see your legs in your videos you post. Like, bro, that stands out more than anyone's chest or arms. Not to say that
Yeah.
doesn't stand out for other men in certain things, but like that is such like a lost cause thing nowadays where if you got legs, you definitely stand out. And I'm happy I did because if I didn't do that, I probably wouldn't be sitting here with you right now. And I ha-
Mhm.
I have to literally say that the gym literally saved my life, and hence why we go into the gym and butts and donuts and all that stuff. But that would say that was like the catalyst of like I know I had my brain thinks pretty black and white sometimes, really analytical and really just logical, where I'm like, you can either just go this way, which I definitely don't want to do, or you can just try. Like
Yeah, if you don't do
it's only a matter
something,
of time until
yeah.
you start walking again. And since you lifted weights for so many years before this, it was so much easier. I was still going to the gym with my walker. Like I would just like do bicep curls because I'm like I'm gonna lose my fucking mind if I don't go work out or move my body. Yeah, because I'm already hella depressed just realizing I can't
So
walk. My
how
athletic
did that
ability is now
shift how you
dwindling.
show
I'm not
up
going to be
as
who I
far
thought
as
I
like
was going
in
to be.
business, in
It was like an
fitness,
identity
and
crisis for
just
sure
throughout
that
your life?
created a newer version of me, and I would say that's like the catalyst of my life is that day for sure.
Yep. There's no failure, there's only lessons.
I like that question. Um, Knowing that you can't lose if you keep showing up. Uh, the ones You know what I mean? Like there's get that out of your fucking head. Like there's no doing it wrong. There's no like fucking up. Like yes, that's true, but like how you perceive that is going to allow you to
Unfortunately,
either
right?
keep doing it or not do it anymore. And we all know from anything else, the gym is like a representation of life. How do you get better at stuff? Repetitions, repetitions, repetitions. If it's boring, you're probably doing something right. Um, and that was how I show up for myself and how I show up for my clients is literally a representation of
Yeah.
myself. Like I will always have my back. I will always tell myself the truth. I will always look in the mirror and be able to have a relationship with myself because if I don't have it with myself, I don't fucking
I
have it with
think
anybody. Like
I think a
this,
big
me
part of
and
that too
myself
is
has to
like
be strong as shit more than
people in
anything
general,
else
like we just need to
because
be kinder to
you're the only one
ourselves,
that
right?
knows
Because
what's going on in
especially
there.
in
You're
a
the only one that
situation
can
like that,
say the
like
truth to
even though
yourself
you
and be
know
honest with yourself.
mentally
And
you're like, hey, I'm
that
showing
was
up, I'm doing everything I can, like da 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 da
you're
da.
good.
We still have that self talk where for some reason people just tend to put themselves down. They say, I didn't go to the gym on time, I'm a piece of shit. Like I didn't hit my macros, like I suck. It's a lot of negative framing. Um, and that I think that leads a lot of people to, hit walls in their progress. So especially coming back from like an accident like that, so severe, what was, a major challenge that you faced, and what did that comeback really look like for you?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say like in the gym, body dysmorphia is definitely a thing. Like no matter how good we look, there's always something else. But
Hmm.
that single-handedly like demolished my identity around bodybuilding and who I'm supposed to be as an athlete. And the funny thing is that the car accident made me do my first fitness shows after. Like I've done four shows, 3 or 4 shows, and they were after my car accident. And that was like that comeback where I'm like, I never really bodybuilded for the sense of competing and showing off my body on stage. I've always just, you bro it up, lift as much as you can. You're 18, trying to just push weight and put on as much size as you possibly can. And I met my a trainer, my first trainer I ever worked for in 2017. And I'm like, dude, I want you to kick the shit out of me and I want you to have me do my first show in like, I think it was like
Yeah.
25
So
weeks
it
or
was a
26
real
weeks away.
mindset
And
shift, right?
he's like, yeah, man, let's do it. That was like that first stint of like changing the narrative. Like, yeah, because for me, don't get me wrong, I was extremely depressed. Like, this wasn't just like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be positive now and move forward and progress. Like, that was probably one of the darkest times of my life. Um, you can't fucking move. You're sitting on the couch, you're immobilized. and it hurts. Like, it's not just like, oh, I'm just gonna power through this. Like, you're fucking in pain a lot, and then you're going from like moving all the time. And keep in mind, this is I just quit being a cop. Just so everyone knows, I used to be a cop in San Diego. I just had moved back to Arizona, and this is within like 6
Well,
months
there's your
this car
3.
accident happened. And I was bartending. I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing with my life. I'm kind of just like figuring shit out. Um, and then I started studying to be a personal trainer. And I'm like, I kind of want to do that. I would really love to do that. And then I started my certification training. 2 months into it, boom, car accident. So then I had to put that on standby and then come full circle after it took like a year because I was extremely depressed. I was like, I'm not fucking studying. I'm not doing this. I don't even know what I want to do with my life. And it was just a matter of time until those thoughts I learned to just reavert them somewhere else. I'm like, it's cool to be depressed. Like, do what you want to do. Like, act how you want to act. I let myself be whoever I want to be. But then I know there's a certain amount of time until I'm
So
like,
that
okay, it's
kind of
time to put your
actually
pants
answers
back
my
on
next
and go
question,
live
because I was gonna
life.
say, like, what
Or
would you tell
sit down in bed
someone
and
who
bitch and
was
complain
in a
and
dark place like that right
be
now, especially if it's
a
from an
victim.
injury
You know,
or
like,
something that's a
I
little
don't
more
like that.
outside
I
of
know
our
what that feels
control?
like. So I'm gonna try. Like, I think a lot of people in society in this culture of the, like, it's kind
Yeah.
of like, have you ever heard the term spiritual bypassing? Like, it's like it's like it's like being
Yeah.
spiritual or being like open and being positive is kind of like a trend right now. It's it's like a trend. And like that's like honestly like disrespectful to like people that are really doing that inner work. You know, it's not this isn't just for fucking rainbows and sunshines and I want to not feel how
I
I
mean,
feel. Like,
that
this is
that took
something
me until I
I
was
want
almost
to dive
30,
into
you know what I
because
mean?
of
Like,
how this connection to source makes me feel about myself and the world around me. It makes me feel pretty damn good. Like, I want to be around here more, not let's unlife ourselves type stuff, you know? So, it takes time. And until 26, 27, 28. I mean, having a partner like Haley Jake, it does help in relationship of contrast. I can definitely say that. It's a little bit, uh, it's hard, but it's also easier sometimes in that
dude,
relationship.
I'm the same way. I'll go
What was I
off
gonna
on
say?
tangents. We'll be over here. I'll be telling a
Lost my train of thought.
story, and then I'm like, well, I need to give you
Fuck.
context. Go
Where
ahead.
are we going? Stay with me. I'm not even high right now, and this is me. When I'm blitzed right now, it's you like bring me back to where I was going. So many. I got it. Like, people are afraid of their darkness. Like, people like don't want to dive into that. That's fucking what created me of who I am. My life was like born in the darkness type stuff where it was like chaos and fights and being an asshole and being rude and being not polite and like growing up in that type of like world in my mind. Like, if you don't have your without darkness, there's no light. Like, if you can't understand and want to make amends or have a relationship with the darkness of yourself, because guess what? That's still part of you. You're never going to actually unravel that and to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So, like, not seeing it as like darkness is bad and lightness is good. Like, no, they're just forms of light. They're forms of vibrations. They're forms of frequency. They're forms of how we
Yeah,
feel
why are
about
you
certain
there right
things.
now?
Feeling depressed in
And
my
because
mind
that's the
isn't
thing.
bad.
That's the thing that I've run
We
into
just
a lot
society
is like
fucking
people
labels it
will
as bad,
say
so that when we're
they
in
have
that state, it's
anxiety or
like, oh, I
depression, and
shouldn't
I'm
be
like,
here right
okay,
now.
let's
It's like,
dive into that a little bit
maybe you
more, right?
should be here right now.
Why do you
Maybe you
feel
should,
anxious? Well, I have all these things to
like,
do.
what can we?
Are you doing any of them? No. That's why you're anxious. Anxiety is literally, yeah, your body is literally telling you you need to do something and you're going, I can't. And that's it. And I feel like it is similar. And obviously, this is not a blanketed statement for anybody, right?
Paralysis by
Everyone has
analysis.
their own case. But even with like depression, and I'm diagnosed with major depressive disorder. So blow me if you have something you want to say. Um, but I got myself off SSRIs, and like I was taking Lexapro and Buspirone or Buspirone or however you want to pronounce it. Um, and I
For
was
real.
like, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. I don't need that. You know what I mean? What the fuck? Like, I'm at a really low point in my life. Things are actually super shitty for me right now. I have a reason to feel this way. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so what's the solution? fix it. Do something, right? And like you said, analysis by paralysis, or paralysis by analysis, excuse me. Your habits are not going to magically change because you want them to, and your motivation is not going to cause you to have better habits. Better habits are going to cause you to have motivation. So that's where it comes in. You know what I mean? Like, you really have to do the thing when you don't want to do the thing so that you can start building that personal accountability, right? And a big part of that, I was just gonna say, a big part of that for me was a lot of that self-reflection, like you were
Yeah.
talking about. I was really messed up, and for a long time I was not a
And
good
I
person.
think that's one of the
You know what I mean?
oh,
I
keep
was
going.
good to people, but as far like I sucks in a lot of ways. I am the bad guy in a lot of people's stories. You know what I mean? And I had to sit with that. I had to digest that. I had
Yeah.
to be the change. You know what I mean? And a lot of that did come from grounding exercises
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
being out in nature. And I'm still working on the meditation thing. That's hard. Um, but even just like self reflection and things like that, like, you need to take accountability. I feel like a lot of people lean on diagnosi, however you want to, whatever, um, as an excuse. Because like you said, the doctor said, here's a walker, here's a wheelchair. What would have happened if you picked the wheelchair?
Yeah. Yep.
You could still be in the wheelchair. And I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
a similar thing happened to my dad, actually. He was hit head on about 10 o'clock in the morning, drunk driver,
You know?
broke his
Yeah,
back,
literally.
and the doctor told
For real.
him, "You're not going to walk again." And he said, "Fuck you." And he's walking, and he's not on pain pills. He smokes weed, but like, yeah, but even he was on pain pills for a while, and then he was like, "These are making me an asshole," and
Yeah.
he just flushed them. And even then, the doctor was like, "You can't do that. You can't just get," which,
Whatever.
correct,
That's medicine,
should not
dog.
do that. Um, but that commitment to self, right, is what I think a lot of people are missing, and a lot of people are looking for handouts
Heard. Heard.
when it comes across the board. And I think, we run into that. I'm sure you run into it with clients too, where they're like, you're giving them everything and they're just not doing it. And they're like, "Oh, well, this
Yeah.
isn't working
Yeah.
for me." And it's like, no, you're not working for you. You have all the tools at your disposal. You have someone helping you. You have people in your corner, and you are making the conscious decision not to give it 100%. Now, obviously, none of us are perfect, and, you know, things happen. We slip up. We're never going to, all those things. But
Yeah.
it really
Yeah.
is you against the world, and if you feel like the world is against you all the time, that's exactly how you're going to portray yourself. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know what you're yeah. Like the thing is like people have to realize no one owes you fucking anything. And that is, you know, whether you've been training for a year or 20 years, the minute you think you're above something, the minute you think that you deserve things, not to say we're not deserving of a lot of shit here, don't get
It's
that
the
too
pursuit of
convoluted, but
happiness.
like we start to like you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. It's as simple as that. Like so the accountability the accountability we talked about, like
Right. That
ownership,
doesn't change
like
anything.
that is what's missing. It's not to say that you're valid with what you said. Life is fucking hard. Understood. But that doesn't that and you know like once we're validated of like how dare I tell someone who's 50 years old or 40 with three fucking kids and a school and work schedule and a husband who travels a lot and blah 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 and all these things that they have the same 24 hours as me. They don't. I live 2 miles down the street from where I work. Okay. Me and Haley don't have kids. We don't have dogs. We don't have animals. I
Mhm.
can do
Because guess
whatever I
what?
want most of the
Because guess
time.
what? You have 3
So it's
kids and a
not the
mortgage
same.
and 2
But
car
when I
payments,
empathize
and
with
you're
that,
not
it
going to the
doesn't
gym. You're
mean
not taking
like
care of
you still
yourself.
have to
Meanwhile,
do the
this
work to
guy,
some degree. Like you
same
still have to show
situation,
up for your.
he's doing it. Like that's where it's kind of like,
Mm. And that's where I get that's what I've been getting into with my clients for the last like few years is like their perspective. It's literally just their perspective because just like you said, Joe Schmo over there is doing the same thing, but he's doing XYZ. The same thing happened to you and you're not doing XYZ. Like what's going on? And that's what I want to learn more about is why aren't they doing it? So the crazy thing is for me, and this is unlike most trainers that I've seen, is I will change my training methods to get them to fucking show up because as much as I'd like them to do what I want them to do or what I think they genuinely need to do, it doesn't matter if I give them the best plan. If they're not going to fucking follow it, it's not the best plan. So, how can I learn to adapt my training styles, push my fucking pride down for a second, and be like, okay, how can I figure out how to get Samantha to do this and stop shoveling the same shit down her throat because clearly she's not going to do it. So like, what do I do? And it's as simple as I remember I made it was wild. This client of mine years ago, heavily overweight, told me I'm not cooking food. I'm not doing it. I'm like, well, I appreciate you telling me that because I'm not going to write you a plan where you're going to cook food. What did I do? As much as do I love processed foods? Do I love going out to eat? Not, I don't really do that often, but you're damn right I'll do that if I want to. I'm going to write her an all out to eat meal plan where it's fucking McDonald's, it's Taco Bell, it's whatever places she said she goes to almost weekly. And I would look online on what's the healthiest, lowest calorie, highest protein
yeah, no,
options that she
absolutely
can
not.
have. A
But it's
lettuce wrapped
better.
cheeseburger from McDonald's, if you look at it, the macros are fucking phenomenal. Like, is it as good as a burger cooked at home without all the shit? No, but it's better than what she was doing before. And then you start to wrap in like, okay,
Micro
you have a job.
steps.
You got to cook one fucking meal a week.
Hmm.
I don't care what it is. You just got to cook it. I don't care if it's fucking oatmeal with water in the microwave. Just
No.
do it yourself. You have to like lead these people into doing stuff because we forget like where we came from. Like we forget that like I wasn't how I am right now when I first started. Like
Hmm.
I just like these people, we forget to empathize with them that they are nowhere near who we are. So we can't give them the same prescriptions that we would give someone like ourselves. So my clients and my perspective show me a lot about myself. When Samantha shows up late every day, why the fuck am I so mad at her? She knows. She shows up.
You
When
should
a
probably
client
stop
shows
being
up
fat.
late
You
or
should
they
probably
fuck up
just
somehow,
cut that
they
out.
beat themselves up senseless.
Most of them.
So why would I have to keep? It's like telling someone who's overweight, "Hey, you should
Oh
probably stop
man.
eating." Yeah, like they know that. They know that. So it's like beating a dead horse. You know, and so yeah, I just it's just wild to see what because I genuinely believe that everyone outside of us is just reflections of ourselves. So the more fucking pissed off we get about XYZ, it's just something going on in ourselves of why we're like, let's figure this shit out. Like you said before, you going into like inward reflections
Hmm.
and all that stuff, like that's in my opinion, that's all it takes is just self-awareness to want to reflect on yourself and take accountability
Yeah.
and own who you
Right.
are and what you
And
do, regardless of you liking what you do or not, just
all you
fucking
can
own it.
do is the
That right
next
there
right thing.
fixes all
That's
things
something my
over
mom told me when
time.
I was going to jail. And um and but that really is it, right? I mean, yeah, we're gonna
I
have there are
love that.
people that are gonna have a couple beers
I
on the
love that.
weekend. They're gonna do this, that, the other thing, whatever. And like as a coach, we're gonna sit here and be like, well, no, that's not the best option. But also, like you said, to throw it back in your court, any plan, no matter how good, if you can't follow it, it's not a good plan. And I think that goes very far outside of the gym as well. And that goes into like a lot of the mental frameworks and lifestyle habits is like if you're not that person that's gonna get up at 4:30 in the morning, don't make that your plan, because you're gonna wake up and you're gonna go, like, the night before, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I can't wait to get up." And then as soon as that alarm clock goes off, you're like, "Oh, or I could sleep for an hour," you know? And then so
You know?
there is a balance where we have to be realistic with ourselves as well, right? And I think that's where those micro steps
There's
come into place, and it really is like, okay, just get outside. Don't count your steps, just
yeah,
get outside.
yeah,
Okay, now walk around the block. Okay, now you're doing that every day. You feel good. You don't feel tired from, walking down the street anymore. Now we can talk about how many steps that is. Now we can talk about what our goals are. And then you really have to like work them into it. And I feel like a lot of people, at least when they
yeah.
sign up, they think they're going to get this like,
It's baby steps.
here's the 6-month written out plan that I have for you. Follow these for the next 6 months. Check in every week. And it's like, that's not how this works at all. Like, you give me your goals, and, you kind of got to trust me that, like, I will guide you to them. But I can't tell you what we're going to do in 4 months, 6 months. Cause, like, right, we need data. We need the data to work off of. But all right, let's bring it to present day a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
You need feedback from
I
them.
know you got screwed a little bit on social media right about the same time I did. I know all your stuff, because I was about to reach out to you about coming on
Take
the
me.
podcast, and I
Take
was
me.
like, "Where's his page?" I was like, "I can't find it." And then of course I go to run my first ad
Oh,
campaign, and I wake up the next morning to my setter being like, "Hey, I can't get into the account." And I was
yeah.
like, "What do you mean?" Gone, all of it. My Instagram, my Facebook, my Threads account, all gone. And I was like, "For what?" And it was saying like, it wanted me to
Wow.
verify my ID. Okay, keep in mind I was a
Oh, they took it
verified
all.
profile
Yeah.
already, and I had a Meta business account. So I was like, verify what? I've not only
Mm-hmm.
verified my ID, I have verified my fucking EIN. I have
Oh, you
proven to
were.
you that I'm a tax-paying citizen. Um, And then so even after I provided my ID, it was like, you violated community guidelines.
Yeah.
And I was like, what guidelines? And so I reached out to Meta Business, because that's like the whole point of having them, right? Is to help with that stuff. And they were like, your account never existed. It doesn't exist. And I was like, what? What do you mean? And then I went to remake a profile,
Yeah.
because apparently it didn't exist. So I went to remake one, and it was like, oh, you can't use the same number that's connected to a
Like
profile
one that.
that's been
Yeah.
banned. So it closed that one. And I was just like, what's happening? So I had to start all over too. So, but yeah, it was a pain in the dick. But what are you working on right now? What's lighting you up? What's going on? Is Butts and Donuts the main focus? Where are we
Wow.
at?
Yeah. So just backdrop really fast. Just like you,
Mm-hmm.
Meta took my Instagram profile away in June. So it's been July, August, September, October. Like, yeah, about 4 months ago. And like a few weeks ago, like a month ago, I started a new one after we went through all this thing. I literally, my wife calls me. She's like, "Hey, I just went on your Instagram. And it's like not there anymore." And I was in a meeting, and I'm just like, "Dude, whatever. I'll figure it out." And I saw it was like just like you. "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
please send your ID, a picture." I'm like, "Okay, maybe it's just verifying me." Like, sure. Then take a picture of yourself, like turn your head. And I was like, "Okay, maybe it's just verifying me." Like, okay, cool. Did that, and then the next thing it said, uh, "Please try again." So I'm like, "All right." Did it again, and then after that, it said your account's been temporarily disabled.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wait, what? I literally just gave you what you asked for. I'm not meta verified though, but I've had my account for 10
Organically.
years. I gr- like I didn't have a
Mm-hmm.
crazy following, but like to grow your account to
Yeah.
14,000 followers, like it at least from my perspective, it takes work unless you're showing a lot of body parts and it's all, sex sells type
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. It's
But it gets taken away. I'm talking to Meta, and if anyone knows this, talking to Meta is like talking to the IRS, like, good luck getting through. And so I was in a chat with Meta, the irony of this is, and this is what will drive people
You want me
crazy.
to just sit here?
As soon as you go to message them, it says, "Please wait. We'll be with someone within several hours." And I'm like, several hours? I'm like, dude, I got shit to do. So literally, so then then they would message me when I'm sleeping, right? At nighttime. And then you'd wake up and see the same repetitive
Yep.
message. Oh, looks like you're not here. Well, we're gone, but message us back. And you message them in the morning, please wait several hours. And it's just this fucking loop. And you just start losing it to where you're like, I'm just gonna stand here with this laptop and stare at the screen for 10 hours until they respond, or have my phone literally opened. Because you don't get notifications like you would a text. You'd have to like literally keep Meta Business Suite opened. And they said it was because of rules and guidelines and integrity.
Can you
And I
tell
was
me
like,
what it
okay,
was?
I'm finally talking to a real
So I don't
person,
do it
going back and
again.
forth. And I go, I'm okay if I'm at fault, but like, could you just tell me what it was? And the irony of this person telling me, having the audacity to tell me, we can't tell you that. That's against our
Mhm.
rules and guidelines. You're telling me you can just tell someone to
Then you'd
fuck
be able to
off
be
and
like
not tell them what
wrongful,
they did
whatever,
wrong?
like,
And that's because I know that's a total legality thing. I know that if they told me anything outside of,
mhm.
I'd sue them, blah, 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 blah. That's why they just send you a link. Well, here's integrity and guidelines, and it's about 500 pages. So, like, figure out what it is. And I still, to this day, never was told exactly what I did wrong. So, I don't know what to do next coming up. I just created a new Instagram account in case you want to follow me. It's called Not That McDonald. And I just made that name because I didn't want to get kicked off again and think about a name I have to create and waste all the time. Because just like you said,
Yeah.
before I thought it was finalized, I created Butts and Donuts 2.0, and within a week that was immediately permanently disabled. And so I realized I'm like, I just can't create another account. I I I can't use the same phone number. I can't use the same email address. I can't use the same IP address. Like, what kind of jailhouse am I in
Well,
right
that's
now?
why
Like,
it's
what did
because a
I do?
lot of
Murder
us,
somebody?
and I mean, I've heard this like in my
Like
circles
I'm
anyways,
posting
that
content to
usually,
help people and
you know,
inspire
I
people,
was
and this
told
is
they're like,
like,
oh, that
this
means
is
you're
it.
making it. It means you're doing something right, is because we talk out against a lot of the BS. You know what I mean? Um, so I was like, all right, I'll take that hit on the chin, and then,
I'll
but
take
yeah,
it.
it does kind of come back to like, okay, how are we gonna handle that situation? You know, like,
Yeah. Yeah. So to go full circle to your question, like, what am I getting into right now? First off, just trying to make sure my Instagram
mhm.
stays active. And what is nerve wracking now is I just bought Meta Verified like a couple weeks ago because I'm sitting here going, maybe if I buy this, it'll be harder to get like deactivated because of the verification process. And it's not just about that blue check mark like it used to be back in the day. That was like a status symbol. It's help with support. It's just like there's a lot more, even SEO and all these things that I didn't know was part of the whole Meta
Do you
Verified
have it
thing.
as a
So
creator
I
or
just
as a
bought that a couple
business?
weeks ago because I'm like, dude, it's $15 a month. Like,
Good,
whatever.
good.
I'm playing the
That's what I was
game.
gonna
If you don't want to
recommend.
play the game, go live under a rock. Like,
Mhm.
so creator actually, because I realized that this just changed though in a few months. They didn't have that a few months ago. So when I logged in, you can do 3 accounts: personal, business, and creator. And then I realized you can't run ads if you have a personal account. So I was like, well, I don't want to make this a business account because I do want to open up my Instagram to more than just butts and
That's what I
donuts,
do, and that it helps
shooting
a
the shit
lot
with
too with
stuff
like
like this.
analytics and
So
stuff
then
like
I
that.
saw a creator account, was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. So yeah, it's creator account right now. Um, and yeah, and so I'm just trying to, me and my buddy that works with me, Luke, we just did a bunch of funny videos a lot of the time. So we're gonna get back into that soon. I just it's I will say as a personal trainer, can you still run
Mhm.
your business without social media? Absolutely. Is it gonna be a little bit more challenging for the most part? Most definitely. Most definitely. Because I let go of the attachment of my social media when it happened. I'm like, "Oh, cool, I'll have a little
Yeah,
break.
read a
What
book.
does it feel
I
like to
mean,
have an
yeah,
extra
do
30
anything.
hours a week, free to, I don't know, do something else?" train my clients,
Well, because we
right?
we
Right?
live
Like
in a
stuff I
world
never really
where
did before.
we
And then
are
after a
all
few months, I'm like,
so
okay, I'm starting to
interconnected
actually lose my
now
mind.
that
I'm
like you
like,
said, like, yes, it's
even like,
possible, but, like, is it the most efficient? Like, no. Yeah.
yeah, like I wanted to be able to like, shoot the shit with you and like connect with people that and I knew it was just a matter of time. And after, 4 months, I'm like, okay. And I created an account and it didn't delete me. And I'm like, okay, okay. And then it asked me to verify, and I'm like, oh shit, here it goes again. But then it was like, no, you're accepted. Sorry for the small inconvenience of having you disabled. And it was like for like 20 minutes or something like that. And then I realized the questions that it had asked me, I have never seen before, which means I have a thought that this is different this time. And I
Yep.
don't think they're going to take me down right now, even
So
though some of my
it
friends will
it
take a
does that
screenshot
for all
when
new
they go to my
accounts.
profile and it says
So
like,
even
be,
if I get
be
people
weary of
like in my
scammers. And I'm
DMs or
like, are
something like
you
that
fucking
from an
kidding me?
ad, it'll say the same thing, and it's like it'll tell
Okay.
me
And
like this
that's,
person created their account this year, like they've only like no post, like it'll give me that information. It's almost kind of, yeah, it's almost kind of like them being like, just so you know, this
yeah.
might not
Okay,
be,
that actually makes me feel more comfortable. Yeah. It's like people need to learn to have discernment themselves. Like if someone created a fake
You don't think they would
profile,
have
I'm not
figured that
telling
out?
like you see people like
Like,
posting their stories like this isn't me, block them. I'm like, okay, you don't dude, let
yeah.
people do what they like how I talk, how I ask. I'm not gonna ask someone for $1,000 in cash I've never met before. Like, come on. Um, but yeah, so that's what I'm getting into is just getting back because right before everything crashed on me, I had such a good flow with like making my content for Instagram, reposting it and repurposing it for TikTok and then YouTube and then whatever social media
Yep.
accounts I had. And it just had this big system of like a nice calendar for content and then slam. So now I'm just, getting back up to those things and then showing people. I just had my second annual Butts and Donuts photo shoot at the gym the other day. And just again, showing people
Yep.
now that I meet at the gym, like, hey, my Instagram account, because when you meet someone at the gym for like training, it's like, hey, go follow me here. Let's chat. Here's my business card. And now before I'm like not talking to anybody. And now I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm over here. And growing that business clientele back up again is
Dude, that's this
it feels nice
last week.
because
I'm just like,
as an entrepreneur, the ebbs and flows are like
I feel like
heavy
everything's
waves
okay, and that
sometimes.
makes me very uneasy. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, something's gonna happen.
Because youth, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you
And
became a cop
I
for a
can relate to
reason. You know
that
what I mean?
because
I
we
I joined
thrive in
the I
chaos.
joined the Marine Corps at 24,
At
25
least
years
that's for
old. All
me.
right, I was
I grew up in chaos.
yeah, but okay. So as far as the field
Yeah.
of personal
Fuck
training,
around and
we
find
talked
out.
about some trends and stuff right now.
So yeah.
Where do you see the field going in the next couple years? And especially maybe with like AI and stuff like that, do you see that kind of affecting personal trainers?
Sure. Um uh yes and no. What I believe, and this isn't just my, I mean, maybe it's a biased opinion because it's in my line of
Mm-hmm.
field. Like we're still gonna I think we forget as personal trainers, the key word is personal. Otherwise, people can go do it themselves. Um, that's something that I think, unless AI can really make it feel like they're better than human beings to talk to, they're still gonna have this disconnect of like authenticity for sure because it's got fucking computer over a human being. So I don't see it changing the sense of like the human side of training going away. I just see it as more of a shit show for other people to understand what's right, what's wrong. There's
It never
an
stops. It doesn't
inundated
stop.
amount of
Every
information
day I
out
learn
there, and if
something
you
new.
think it's a lot now, just wait. Um, be- it, it will be compounding, and it's like a bell curve to where it started here, and then it starts here, and now we're at this phase where it's just constantly going up, and that's where I see an issue for people because I'm lucky enough, and I'm only 35, but I'm lucky enough to start working out when social media was not a thing. I'm lucky enough to go to the gym and put the pedal to the metal just because you want to impress the guy next to you or the girl next to you. And that was it. You worked out, you lifted with your boys,
You lived a
you
real
kicked the
life.
shit out of yourself, and then you went home. and you ate food and you hung out with people and you talked about it versus now where there's just a lot of extra fluff in there that it's going to take people a little it's going to be I don't want to say a harder route, but it's there's just too much information in my opinion, and people are going to have to learn to use
Yep.
discernment to understand that, like, just because Cindy said this on social media doesn't mean shit. No offense to Cindy. So they have to figure it out themselves, and that's going to take a lot of self work to figure out what is good for me. Because if you go on social media,
Vegetables are
first thing you see,
terrible.
vegetables, the best thing for you. Make sure you eat 2 pounds a day. Next video, vegetables cause cancer. Yeah. So, you know, now me, I'd like to believe I'm not stupid and can't get swindled so easily with statements like that, because the minute I hear
Any
a
flat
statement
for
like
me it's
that,
really like
they are immediately, in my
any
mind,
flat
not credible.
statement. You know what I mean? So
Like,
what people anything that's like carbs are bad. It's like, what are
yeah,
we
like a
talking about? Or
concrete,
like if they're like, yeah, it's like, because what are we talking? Are we talking about your thyroid? Are we talking about like T3 to
yeah,
T4 conversion?
yeah, I
You
need
don't even know
more.
what that means? Okay, like, um,
Yeah, like what? Yeah, where are we going here? Um, and and so, yeah, and it's just gonna be,
I think there's going to be a
I
huge
think with
influx
AI
of
and stuff like
shitty
that,
trainers.
it's
There's going to
gonna
be a
get real
huge,
intense. But
but even with social media, right? Social media was a big part of that.
I mean,
And then now
hasn't
I
it already
think
started?
with the access to AI and stuff, the shitty trainers are just now lazy shitty trainers. So it's like people, the clientele base really gets the short end of the stick every time, is really what happens. Um, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, but that's right. Like you see these mirrors they have with like a AI personal trainer, like, hey, stand up with me. Hey, grab your dumbbells. Like, people, just like anything else. When I was young, I wanted the quick fix, even though I put the hard work in. I always wanted to know. I used to read Flex magazines growing up. Um, like, I used to like look for like what's that like thing that I can get a little upper hand on. When in reality, you can get a little upper hand on supplements and meal timing
yeah.
and all these small semantics, but like at the end of the day you still have to put the work in. At the end of the day you still have to like
And I
eat
think a lot
well
of
and
people too,
know what
they're
you're putting in your body
also,
and sleep and lower your
especially the people
stress.
that are trying to
Those things
figure
will
it out
never
on
go
their
away.
own, a lot of them follow like bodybuilders, power lifters, things like that. And it's like they are speaking to that specifically, right? Bodybuilding and lifestyle clients are not the same, not even close. You know what I mean? And it's like, you
Mm-hmm.
like if we,
Yeah.
especially when we talk about like post workout nutrition, intra workout nutrition, like e- lifestyle clients really don't need to worry about that so intently. There's a place, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you should definitely eat before you go lift weights, like, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We can start talking about
Sure.
carb timing and things like that, for performance purposes. But I think a lot of them, one of my favorite things is they miss the forest for the trees, right? So they miss the big picture by being so close to it and so like
Mm,
in depth of
mm.
like, well, how many what if I'm 3 grams of protein over for the day? And it's like, you're fine. And especially out the gate, it's like that
Yeah,
you need to
like this perfection
wind it
mindset.
back,
Yeah, yeah,
you
like
know?
that. Yeah, the dude, the biggest thing is the people are all looking, whether you're bodybuilding or your lifestyle coaching, people just, they want to be happy with whatever the fuck they're doing in their life. Like, they want to feel good. Like, yes, they want to look good, but I could say that if I had to ask people, would you rather look great and feel kind of like shit? Or would you rather feel great and maybe you want to change your body still a little bit more? Most people are going to pick, like, I don't know. It's kind of a 50-50 shot in that
Yeah.
sense. But it all comes down
A
to
lot of
like, dude,
people don't
I
even
want to enjoy
realize
my
they
life.
don't
I
feel
want to look
good
good and feel good.
because
And
they're
it's
Yeah, because
In
their
this,
baseline is down here. So they're like,
dude,
yeah, I feel
until they know
normal. And
what
it's
that
like,
feels like on the other
you
side of
feel
things, right?
normal for where you're at right
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
yeah. If you knew what normal felt like and what good really felt like, um, and that's the biggest thing is like we don't this if you notice the
Mhm.
same exercise in the gym, yes, there's new ones created a
A
little bit
hip
over
hinge is a
time,
hip hinge. You know what I mean?
but the reason why they're still there is because they work. If they weren't there, right? If they weren't there anymore, if deadlifts and overhead presses and pull-ups and hip thrusts and bench press and lunges and step ups and rows and pull downs and all those things weren't effective, they wouldn't be there anymore. But they are. And it's we don't, just like you said, the person that's like, well, is it 2.5 grams or 2.6 grams or what's a gram? It's like, dude, let me break this down to you for the simplest way possible. Don't overeat your calories.
Yeah.
Make
Move,
sure you get an
move,
ample amount of
move,
protein
move.
and fucking
Outside,
move.
preferably.
Everything else, move. Like I tell people, like I think we undervalue the simplicity of just walking outside. Like, and I don't mean walk outside on your cell phone
Yeah, you're getting your
making
steps in and
posts.
working
Now,
at the
don't get
same
me
time.
wrong, I
Those
do that
are,
sometimes because I have to just fit shit in the day, and that's fine. But for the most part, you know, but like if you're coming home from work, right? Why aren't what's we're not taking more out of our day. Like we're not like make this a habit. Those are the small things we're looking for, but they don't get that instant gratification. They don't get that like, oh, I lost 5 pounds today. No, because that's the stuff added up over time that eventually you will see the gratification from and keep you going. It's just when you don't see the progress right away, do you keep doing it? You know, oh, I've only walked, some of my overweight clients,
that's great.
oh, I only lost, a half a pound this week.
Yeah.
A half a pound. Do you know that's like 25 pounds a
That's
year?
25, 26
50
pounds.
pounds? I don't
Yeah.
even know what the math is on that. Half a pound a week, that's
Yep.
you know what I mean?
Well,
Like
I
you
had
lose
one of my
25
clients.
pounds,
Yeah,
you're a
I had one of
different
my
human
clients
being.
recently. We just finished
And that's
her
just at a
first
half a
six
pound a
months,
week.
and we were on a call and we were kind of doing some reflection and looking back at where she started because she had a couple rough weeks recently where she was feeling pretty discouraged about the whole process. And I was like, look, you've lost over 20 pounds in 6 months. Yeah, I was like, don't get me wrong. There's places that we
That's
can
big.
tighten some stuff up. There's definitely some days where you were a little over on calories, but stuff, but you're also accountable. You're tracking it. You're not saying, "Oh, I'm not going to tell Steven about this." Like you're plugging it in. So you're being honest, you're making progress. And I was like, and not
Yeah, you've
only
been
that, but
honest.
you're coming back to me and telling me how integral it is for your relationship to do this with like her marriage and everything. And you and I both preach
Mm,
this, that mental health and physical performance are inseparable. How you address that connection uh with your
yeah.
clients is essential, right? Um, yeah. Do you have any like
Yeah, you
practices
gotta
or
have that because
habits that you use to keep your head clear?
yeah. It's funny you just said, I've been diving into meditation, but it's been hard. Um, I think I started
Okay.
doing breath work and meditation. I'm a 200-hour yoga teacher instructor as well. Yeah, me and Haley did that like 3 years ago. It was like 6 months long, and it was dope as hell. I think it was like a perfect time for me to dive into that. And coming from myself, I was a wild child.
I was gonna do the opposite.
So if you told me what to do, I would have became the devil. Like, you know what I mean? If you told me
Yeah.
to do things improperly, I'd probably do things properly. That's how like reversed I was. So I literally thrive in chaos. So I realized like what that gives me in life. I was arrested at 15. I was, just doing things that like this probably is going to lead in the best direction. You have choices now. Um and I'm like as I grow up, as I get older, I move away from my family. I'm on my own now. I know that there's something powerful in shutting the fuck up. There's something powerful in stillness. There's something powerful in being by yourself. And for me, first starting breath work, that was like World War V in my head. That was like meditation, like telling me who I used to be to sit down still and don't think of anything. That's like lighting a bomb. Like until over time, I'm like, dude, you can do whatever you want. If you wanna if you wanna make that up, you can make this up. Like whatever, like
Mhm.
who is like this is like the small inner kid in me, the fuck you kid in me. Who are you to tell me what I'm doing is wrong? Like, if we really think about it, all the stuff we're talking about is all man-made. We all created it somewhere. Like someone one day said, this is the label of this, so this is what it's called. And it's like we get so inundated with like the definitions of things, realizing that like definitions can change. They have multiple meanings to them. And for me to find stillness, made games with myself. If I can make games with myself to do it, I will do it. So for me, it was like, okay, let's sit down. Let's shut off all the lights, no music, no nothing. Let the noise come in until I realized like meditation is not about stilling your mind and thinking about nothing, in my opinion. Meditation just means you're focusing on something for a certain amount of time, period. So that is as simple as me meditating and having a sip of my coffee in the morning and being present. And like that's meditation. Meditation is also sitting with a sensei for
I
five
like that though
hours in
because I
darkness
preach
and everything in between.
the cephalic phase of eating a lot about how, you should sit down, calm down, get rid of your screens, smell your food, take a second, chew your food, enjoy it. Like all of that primes your digestion. Like,
Yeah,
and so I think I like that you made that
yeah.
correlation there. Yeah. I never thought of that. I
And
never thought of that as
that's
being
yeah,
meditation, but
and
and
that's
it's
beautiful
like
that you said
if you
that.
have to make yourself do that, then it is meditation.
But yeah,
So I like that.
yeah. And that's the thing is like I looked into the definition. I'm like, well, what the fuck is the definition of meditation? And if you look it up right now, it literally says focusing on something for a certain amount of time. And I'm like, well, dude, I can make it because
Mhm.
for me to do something, I have to make it my own. Because that inner kid of me
There's a
listening to
reason we work for
somebody, I
ourselves
don't
now.
fucking
You know what
like
I
that.
mean?
I don't want to do it now. You know what I mean? And so like I'm going to create whatever game it is. And so I realized that over the years of me creating these games, they're
And we just
actually
didn't know
really
what to call it.
meditations that actually people do. So one of those didn't even know what to call it. So it's called statue meditation. Try this shit out. I did this at a retreat before. It's amazing because I'd sit there in my meditation, whatever, and nothing, whether it was music or lights on, closed eyes, and I would don't move. Don't itch your nose. That fly that is around your face, don't you dare try to swat it. You're going to sit here and you're not going to move an inch. Your hip that feels like painful that you have to move, do not worry. You're not going to die. You will be out of this situation soon. But for right now, can you be a little bit more focused on right here, right now for a couple more breaths? Pay attention to your breath. Don't fucking move. It is going to be just fine because guess what? The itch
Yeah.
does fucking go away. It's actually wild to witness. The fly that's with
So
you,
it's funny because
be
I've
with
had to
it.
practice that
Let
sometimes
it go.
when I struggled falling asleep. Is because you get that like the restless legs or the urge
Mm,
to like
mm,
twist and turn or like even just open your eyes if you feel like
yeah.
you can't fall asleep. Like there really is something, and there's it's actually I think the SEALs started it, but it's a whole military thing. Is like the being able to sleep anywhere if you just cross your ankles because that keeps your legs pretty much locked where they are, and if you just cross your arms, well now right, exactly. That's how now
Yeah,
you're
that's
locked in
actually how
place.
I
So
sleep.
legs crossed, arms crossed, knockout, knocked out.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. So it's just like it's just like I that rebel in me is will always be there because that's my authenticity. I don't care what you think I'm doing. This works for me. And let me give you a different perspective on what you think meditation or workouts or nutrition or food you think it means. Because when we can expand our definitions and our perspectives, that's what fucking allows people to be like,
And
oh,
perspective is
I didn't know I
reality.
could do it that way. It's like, who the fuck told you like whatever it is, like when I'm cooking meal prep, you don't think I make that a game? Like I make it a game where I'm like, okay, you got 45 minutes, timer goes on. Let's see if I can do this right now. Right? Oh, this is cooking, this is going here, this is in the microwave, everything, washing dishes before, being intentional, grabbing my feet. Wait, my back hurts, tuck my pelvis, pay attention, Mike. Okay, take a breath. Okay, this is here, this is going. Like I make it a thing that makes
Hmm.
me be present, because that's when we pull back the whole thing, we get so inundated and pulled out of our bodies of being present with what we're doing. And if you notice when you go to the
You reminded
gym,
me I need to
and
stand up
I
straight.
see this in my clients every day, I see this in
Oh, man.
no, you're good. I see this in people all the time. If you watch them, they are always looking around. They are always watching other people, and it's like, bro, the biggest thing that you're looking for right now is actually in you just fucking focusing, closing your eyes and being intentional with your workouts,
I've been
and that
closing
bleeds
my
into
eyes a lot during
everything.
workouts,
Because
like
the reason
especially if
why
I'm
you're
on a
so
machine or something, because I want to feel the whole thing, and because I struggle a lot
yeah,
with because I always worked out alone. You know what I mean? I never really had a partner or a spotter, things like that. Like that wasn't my thing. I didn't feel like training somebody, and I didn't want to be a nuisance to someone better than me. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, but so a big
sure,
habit that I
sure.
developed was looking in the mirror, no matter what exercise I was doing, because I was checking my own form. But as soon as you're doing like a tricep pushdown or something, and you turn your head, well, now your whole spine is out of alignment. Like you're not locked into it, which I really have to be careful with now, which is why I just put this on to
Yeah.
kind of prop me up a little bit because I have fucking
Yeah,
trauma induced scoliosis, which is super fun. Um, yeah. But so,
super
what are
fun.
some non negotiables for you that keep you grounded?
Non-negotiables. Um, I have to get outside for at least. Now, here's the thing. I set the bar low for myself, and I don't mean that in a fucking disrespectful way to myself. I mean that in a sense of, just like we said before, I'm not gonna
It's a minimum.
set myself up for failure. I've done that so many times in my life. I know what works for me. And my non-negotiables: sleep, 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 sleep. I don't think people genuinely really know what it feels like to get sleep, and how much of a, if we want to get into the semantics of things, to the trendy words for people, the
Hmm.
fat burning effects, the effects that sleep genuinely has on that, your nervous system, your stress levels, your mental capacity, your ability, like that in itself will change your life. So my non-negotiable is sleep, at least 5 days a week, because on Fridays and Saturdays, I do fuck around and find out a little bit, and
Yeah, why not?
don't get as much sleep because I wake up early in the morning for work. Um, but non-negotiable one is sleep. Non-negotiable two, gotta pay attention to what you put in your mouth. Period. In my opinion, to downsell my training services, it's more important to focus on what you put in your mouth and how much you move. You
And
cannot
I
outwork a
preach a
bad
lot of
diet.
that too, is like the gym is such a small part of the big picture. I always try to explain it as the gym is not where you make progress. The gym is where you measure your progress, right?
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
Because,
I love that. I
yeah,
love that
because
because
why
it's
were you
true as
stronger
shit.
this week than last week? Probably because you did get sleep. Probably because you did get your nutrition. You did get your hydration. Like, those things matter so much more. And you're
Yeah,
we
a
can
hundred
hammer
percent.
on neat all day long to our clients and they won't listen, but yeah.
Non-exercise
Yeah.
activity thermogenics.
Um
No, but yeah, it's and once you have the sleep and you focus on food a little bit, moving your body, I'm biased towards resistance training. as a form of moving your body intentionally. But the biggest thing is
Mhm.
non-intentionally doing that. Like you said, like again, neat. Um, moving. Like like those three things, if we're gonna be real simplistic here, sleep, which is AKA manage your stress levels to some degree. Sleep, in my opinion, be cognizant of what you put in your body. That doesn't mean you don't eat fast food. That doesn't mean you don't drink alcohol. It just
Or
means
plan
fucking
for
pay
it.
attention. You know what I mean?
You
Plan like
know you're gonna go out on Friday night. Plan for it. Keep it like keep it to a couple drinks. Don't go getting hammered every weekend,
mhm,
but like go have a couple cocktails. Put it in your thing.
yeah.
Pre-plan for it.
And
Pre-plan for the wings you're gonna eat, and then like plan around the things you want to do. Don't let it derail you,
yeah.
you know? Um,
And that's the thing too, is like how I would speak to someone doing a fitness show or a bodybuilder type person,
yeah.
very different than someone lifestyle coaching. Because when I have those three things in check, my sleep, my food, and movement, there's nothing else I need. Like it's our perspectives around the things. So when I go out and I drink alcohol, now let me preface this first by saying the more muscle you have in your body, the more calories you're going to burn. So, in my opinion, at the earliest possible time, work out as much as you can. Put on as much muscle as you possibly can. Get good eating habits and good workout habits and good sleep habits early on. Because for me, I don't work out anywhere near as I used to when I was
No, me neither.
22
I
years
used to work
old.
out 6
I'll tell
days
you
a
that right
week.
now. You know? So, like, people always say, Mike, you look like you work out 6 days a week. And I'm like, well, I don't. You can thank the years of me kicking my ass to do that. But what I will say is my perspective around everything is very different. I don't lose my fucking mind when I can't work out. It,
Yeah.
and on to the next day. I think our perspective around what we're doing is more of a detriment to us than us doing it or not doing it. So, like last weekend, I went to the Arizona
Mhm.
State football game with a couple of my buddies, and we got fucking hammered. Like, hammered. I took a scooter all the way home. Like, I was like 18 years old all over again. When I woke up the next day, was I hungover? Honestly, I really wasn't. I was kind of blown away by
Because
that.
it was a one-time
But it's
thing, your
like,
body, especially like your liver and everything, is probably in such a good spot now that it was like, okay, we can take this hit once. You know what I mean?
you know
Like
what I
it's
mean?
kind of like being like, you had your
And
fun. Be careful.
yeah, yeah. And the next day it's like, okay, back to what we're doing. Like, okay, I'm prepping some food, I'm doing this stuff. I'm not overdoing it because oh, yesterday was a bad day. I have to like eat healthy and do this. Like, that's not a fucking good relationship to have with the things. It's as simple as being like, bro, we had a good time. I had a dope time. It was actually an amazing time, a 12 out of 10, and back to the shit.
That's a big part of the
So those
transformation that I've made in the last 6 months is stress management. And it's funny
huge.
because I'm probably the most stressed I've ever been in my entire life right now. Um, but it's a good stress. You know what I mean? It's like I have a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
oh yeah.
really good things going on right now, you know? And you have to be almost grateful for your stressors in a sense, because it's like, okay, I am starting a business, I'm coaching, I am now starting to model, and I'm going to be in Men's Fashion Week next month in Florida.
Yeah.
And I'm also a full-time student, and I'm working towards my master's degree in psychology with a focus in mental health. Like this,
I love
oh yeah,
that.
I'm integrating all of that. But like a lot of people look at it and they're like, I don't know how you do it. And like, that's a lot. And I'm like, it is a lot, but I want more. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, this is
yeah.
just a step.
It's because you're inspired. Like 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 we talked about earlier, motivation and people, like, they're looking at it the wrong way. You're never gonna find motivation. It's not just gonna magically appear
Hmm.
when you do certain things. It's like going back to, like, your why, like, why the fuck are you even doing
Having
this?
a good why
Like
is
like,
so important.
you know? Why like, a lot of us want things, but we just kinda want it.
Hmm.
And, like, that's okay, but let's not fucking do it because you don't really want it, and let's just accept that and find
Yeah,
something else now. Or
saying you want something but you're not willing to work towards it is completely useless.
yeah, so just why don't you just accept it that you don't actually want it right now, and maybe eventually it'll come back around if it's meant to
Yeah.
happen, and maybe now you're ready to do it. Or you just fucking buck up and do it because you know that once you start doing stuff, that's where the motivation, inspiration comes from, is from movement, from doing it. You know how many times I feel like I'm like a piece of shit and I'm sitting on the couch and I'm lazy and I'm like imposter syndrome and I'm so just fucking built up. I know I need to literally go run sprints outside.
Yeah, get it
I
out.
know that I literally need to like I need to exert energy, movement, um I play flag football in a league with my buddies, and we had a game last Tuesday. And after that game, I'm like, bro, ah, like I felt like, oh my God, like the stress is out of me. I feel like inspired to go do stuff now. And it's just like this metaphysical, in my opinion, this dis-ease in the body, stuck shit, sticky. People
Mhm.
are always crippling themselves by staying inside and not doing stuff. The beauty is it's as simple as going outside and fucking yelling as loud as you possibly can and going for a run or going for a walk, moving the energy. In yoga, they call it dukkha, like stuck shit in our bodies. You'd be surprised. Just like, when you tell clients, like, when you get done working out, you're going to feel fucking great after. And they usually always do. They're never going to say, damn, I'm really pissed I showed up for that workout today.
Yeah, that's never happened.
They're
Um,
gonna be like, "Great, I can't wait to go do XYZ now because I'm a little bit more inspired now because of the actionable things I just did."
it really is wild. But all right, Mike, this one was awesome. I appreciate you coming on and keeping it real. I feel like we could probably sit here
Bro,
and
6 hours.
run our mouths all day. To me, that just means I'll have to have you back on, right?
Love
So
it, love it.
for everyone listening, make sure you go follow Mike at Not That McDonald on Instagram. The man's got solid insights. He walks the talk. And if this episode hit home, share it with someone who's trying to balance success, stress, self-care, the whole package, because that's what this is all about.
Mm,
Anyways, I'm Stephen Garrity, and this is EHC Unfiltered, where we help you reclaim your life, master your mind, and build your body. Catch you next time.